Every now and then a company comes out and surprises you with what they put out. APC, formerly Gear Factory nowadays, really surprised me with this Gale update that they put out. Now, he's a $45 toy with really great looks, great feel, but is he worth $45 in today's market? I love Transformers Prime, and sometimes I get so excited this happens.
And that's the look.
But before we begin, if you like this figure in this video, head over to ShowZ store where I got it from, and use code DEEMER in the Support Your Favorite Reviewer box. It sure would help me out, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Deemer's Dominion. As always, I am Deemer, and today we are taking a look at formerly known as APC, recently known as Gear Factory. This is their Gale, or on the box, it says Bolt, the air fighter, but on their product page, it says Gale. This is Transformers Prime Dreadwing, the modified version. If we take a look at this really cool artwork, it is actually slightly embossed on the box, so that's fun. Love the cartoon artwork. There's some more sketch artwork here, which is fun, and on the box, you've got a really nice just pen and ink drawing. And Bolt, the air fighter. What we talk about is Robo Fighter in hidden modes. Not sure what that is, but it is what it is. And the other side of the box, that is how it looks and what it comes like. It's a nice little seal there. Here we go. Transformers Prime happens to be one of my absolute favorite series in the Transformers universe. Second probably only to G1, and I love when APC did their Transformers Prime. First editions were pretty badass. So let's take a look and see what we got going on here, ladies and gents. Okay. Oh, look at this huge cannon here. And we got a sword, looks like. Nicely packaged in the styrofoam. Take it out carefully. Make sure nothing breaks. And get his accessories. This is how he comes out of the box. He is a little top heavy at first impression here. Okay, and now that we've got him set up a little bit, what we had to do out of the box is just raise his shoulders up. They were down, and then reset the wings up a bit because they were also down in the package, so they were quite low. You just raised them up, and I think that was all outside of the normal packaging that was needed to change. But I mean, now look at him. He looks really cool, really screen accurate, very much just like the animated show. I am loving this remake, this update. I mean, just aesthetically, he looks so much like the part. Great colors, vibrant, this metallic gold paint. Don't have any issues anywhere, no scratches, no weird displacements. Got the silver metallic paint on the tip of the wing here, again with this gold metallic here as well. And then these are just the molded colors. You can see nothing special there as far as paint application. It doesn't look like. You got some paint detail there on the face, looks great. And you do have light piping, which is great. Really good light piping there. Great aesthetics. Really good look. There's some more paint here on the feet as well, of course. And then everything else just seems to be molded in that colored plastic. Some paint detail here. And that's the look. He looks phenomenal. I really like how he looks. For a Transformers Prime figure, that came out originally several years ago. I'm digging this. I like it. I'm a huge Transformers Prime fan, once again, and I think he looks amazing. Now, how does he feel? Overall, okay. Actually, quite okay. Very solid. Shake, shake, shake. Nothing is moving and wiggling. Nothing is moving and wiggling. So he is very solid. That's impressive. He comes with a whole bunch of accessories too. He comes with 2 additional placement heads. Comes with another face with a smirk on it. Also great light piping and coloring. And then he also comes with this grunting, unimpressed kind of face. Comes with his weapon accessories here for the wings and his little communications device thing. There you go. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. And he comes with a sword, which is also nicely painted, molded plastic. That's nice and solid. And then we have a sword accessory that is a little bit multifunctional. And there are some little divots in the paint here. Nothing too annoying. See right there and there and there. And you have his BFG, big cannon gun. And then this is cool because then this handle comes out, and guess what? You can fold it out like that. And snap these 2 in, and now you've got 2 swords. So that's pretty cool gimmick. And they only go in, they slide in only one way, like that. Here you can also store this right here and have that configuration look as well. So that is going to be very, very cool kind of look there. Okay, and here we have him with one kind of armored up stance where we have everything basically attached to him with the weapon storage, which is fantastic. The only things you are left with in this kind of ability is just the 2 heads, 2 alternate heads. Just amazing how he can hold everything and everything is stored. We've got his weapons in both hands, nice and tight. This isn't going anywhere. And then we've got his communicator here. And then we've got the stars here. So you've got basically options of where you can put them in if you want. You want in here, you want out here, absolutely fine. And the sword can plug into the back, which gives him a lot of playability in my book. I love stuff like this. I love where everything can attach and still look cool and still look like it belongs. And he looks just absolutely phenomenal. Look at that stance. Very, very, very well done. Very well rendered. The colors go really, really screen accurate. The design goes screen accurate. And very little nitpicks when we'll get to that here in a moment as far as his bot mode design goes. We'll look at how else you can configure him with his weapons as well. Just thought I would show you this first configuration because there is playability with this figure that I absolutely love. I am pretty impressed. He feels well in hand. I love how solid he is. And I love the accuracy once again. I'll bring him in for a little more detail so you can see all the fun, how he's grabbing on. And those can just curl up around, close up that fist. Very, very nicely done. So my only, I think, nitpick so far is this gapped area right here. There is a little bit of waffling going on. Back here is also a little bit. Wish it was a little cleaner, maybe a little skirt would have been nice in the back here. But again, I think just some nitpicks, right? Nothing that is going to change my opinion of the figure as a whole. And maybe that's my bias with the Transformers Prime series to begin with, but I don't think we can complain too much about what we're presented here, to be honest. What do you guys think so far here? Let me go ahead and armor him up in another way, and I'll be right back. And you'll be happy to know he can also hold it in his fist as a large cannon gun. And then if you wanted the dual hand mode too, you can slip it in his hand on the other side. So he does have that pretty badass look. I mean, just a lot of playability here just with the gun by itself. You can have him hold it with just one hand if you wanted to and slip it out of his hand. He has no problems whatsoever holding it up and balancing. Very cool look as well. So there are definitely different modes, and if you don't even want him to hold it, he can store it on his wing as well. And as you can see, you can pick whichever peg you want and peg it into the hole. You can have it face up or down. It is your call, your toy, you play whichever way you like. And no problems there whatsoever. No problems balancing, no problem standing. I mean, he is built solidly. So lots of options. Of course, anywhere there is a peg available, you can put it in. You can even store it on the back if you wanted to use the sword here. And just peg it in the back as well. And have that kind of look to him. And that way he can hold his swords if you wanted him to hold his swords, singular or dual wielded. That is all on you and what you want to do. Of course, like I said, if you wanted to, you could just plug in his swords in his hands and have that look there. You can plug his sword in his wing if you didn't want him to hold anything. Just so many options, so many great options. And then that, of course, can attach either to the cannon, or if you wanted to dual wield, we'll just pull this part out. And like I said, we can just flip that up, and then this just slots in there. So you have a nice sword there. I mean, he's your toy. Have fun. This is such a cool figure. So yeah, you really can't go wrong. However you want to arm him up. Lots of playability, which is what I love for toys, and just really great looking. Lots of playability. Again, this is my biggest nitpick, I think, on the bot mode itself. We'll get into the articulation, everything here in a minute, but I did want you all to see how he looks. All right, let us take stuff out of his hands and stuff and come back to the articulation. Okay, so weapons off. Let's take a look at his articulation with his, starting with his head, and he can look up that high, look down just a bit. However, if you break his look there, you can get a deeper look, and that would look great with his scowling face when he's looking down like that. That's pretty cool. So granted, that's part of the transformation, but you still have that option. And we have really big up and down on the shoulders, again from transformation, but this is a big ball joint that you can, if you wanted to, go all the way around. And there is a twisty at the bicep and a pretty decent elbow bend, that much. And with his up and down on the shoulder, that's where you get the 360 if you needed it. And then we do have the twisty at the wristy 360. And then these fingers are all pegged to the same, so but it closes in and out together. So no individual articulation, but it does swing in and out. The thumb is non-movable. And of course, same thing on the other side. There is 0 twist at the waist. You have a full split, and you have twist at the upper thigh here, and a 90-ish bend here. If you move that out, you get about a 90. And then the toes, of course, can go up that high, part of transformation, and just a teeny binsy down from the flat. You do have these side wheels here that go up and down as well. Oh, you can kick back that far, all the way back, and up that high. And if you twist out his leg a little bit, he can get pretty high up there. So pretty well articulated. Other things that bend and twist, the swings fold in and out and up and down. And as we saw, part of the transformation, these go up and down as well. This twists around on a ball joint, as you can see there. Part of transformation, but you can get accurate poses that you want because of the movement there. So that is quite nice. And those are his Bendies and Twisties. Okay, and let's get up and close and personal with the light feature here. You can see it does light up pretty well. That light piping works rather well. Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. Great light piping effect. Just thought I'd show you guys. And let's take a look at the other heads. Basically, you just ball joint here, pop that off. You'll put his grumpy face on, and that just pops in like that. Of course, being a ball joint, you have all the same articulation. Good looking face. And his smirking face. I like that one. I think I'm gonna keep that one on right now. Very representative of his character in the cartoon. So there is that with the different heads. Frequency spike, decode the message, wars the mic. Cybertron streets where the shadows crawl. Megatron's decree, Autobots will fall. Sound wave superior, Autobots inferior. Broadcasting truth, their future's ulterior. DOI Decepticons with attitude. Steel hearts, cold mind, fuel the feud. Fuck the Autobots, their circuit stall. Megatron reigns, bow to them all. DOI Decepticons with. And here he is in his alt mode, and he looks pretty great. He looks pretty great. I mean, he looks very clean overall, and love the wheels, love the design, love the colors. Very compact, very solid once again. Gear Factory did a great job keeping everything solid and connected and well put together. As you can see, there is really very clean looking. It's a very clean looking plane. So not too many issues whatsoever. My only nitpick is like these two tabs keep coming a little bit loose, and that just might be from the transformation process not getting everything to the right tolerance on this specific one. But other than that, I am pretty happy with it. I can't complain. And also, again, love the ability for storage for some of his items here. So that's pretty cool. So let's get a quick measurement as far as his alt mode goes. So when people ask, we've got a great idea of what it's going to be like. And that looks to be about, from tip to tail, 7 3/4 inches, or about 19.5 centimeters in length. And height wise, we are looking about 3 inches to the top of this back tail, or about 7.5 centimeters. Fairly decent sized, not huge, definitely not small, can stand on his back. And if you wanted him to, and there is a mode to also, I believe, stick this in the tail here, and you can have that there like that, which is kind of funky. Not the most aesthetic, but I mean, playability is there. And of course, you can always stick the additional sword on there as well to complete the look if you wanted to. Okay, so if you wanted that full gun look there, the cannon and the sword, you can. This doesn't have to stay in. You can always take that out and just leave this as is and stick that in his afterburner and have that look there, which is kind of cool. Again, great playability, great feel, really nice setup. And then we'll get him back in bot mode and do some thoughts and obligatory comparisons.
Rolling deep, Decepticon fleet, wheel spin, metal grind, Autobots meet defeat. Stars cream plotting, but Megatron supreme. Iron fist rain, shattered Autobots dreams. Sound wave bar.
Another option for storage for this is up here at the top. Just thought I'd let you guys see that option. And you can take that off from here as well And if you were interested in putting it under, you can have that look. I mean, there's so many options if you wanted to. If you are insisting on putting it out there, also fine. Your toy, you have fun, do what you want. Just want to show you options. You could also, of course, put it on this side facing forward. So just thought I'd give you a nice little shot there. And just wanted to show you real quick with the cannon facing forward. It does also work and sticks in pretty well. No issues whatsoever. Slightly better look than in reverse. Looks like he is carrying a heavy armament, and we don't want that thing dropped anywhere near us. So, and then with that, I did work a little bit on the tabs back here to align them a little better, and that worked out pretty well. So really, my only real nitpick, I think, on that side of things is gone. And here we have him back in his bot mode, still armed up with his weapon stored and his communicator in hand. Who's he gonna talk to? We don't know. In any case, let's talk about some of the nitpicks. So in alt mode, there really wasn't much of anything in my book. The only nitpick I really had was the tabbing issue I solved just by resetting his leg in the transformation process. So no issues whatsoever on my end as far as the alt mode itself goes. The bot mode, as you can see here on the side, I wish that gap was filled on his abdominal, his lats there. That would have been a nice kind of thing. Almost wish he did have a little bit of hip skirt to cover some of what is going on over there on the back side at least. Front side, I'm not too bothered by it, but it would be nice also to have a little bit of coverage for those hip gaps there. Other than that, everything is, on my copy at least, pretty sturdy. I love all the weapon storage and the accessories that come with this figure. I love the light piping, works really good on his head. I love the fact that they do give you a couple extra heads. The different faces on these heads are a nice touch. And as far as that goes, really, I can't pick anything else. If there's anything you guys notice, if you guys don't like, drop a note in the comments. Let me know. Is this something, are you guys a Transformers Prime fan to even begin with? Because, you know, like I said, it is my second favorite series to G1. And this guy was always a great character as far as a character goes. Very loyal, very honorable in his beliefs. So I dig that. I always thought I was pretty respectful of a character despite the, you know, the side that he's on. And he is, you know, very tenacious to a fault when it comes to sticking to his rules of alignment in combat and dignity that he has as far as what he believes in. And it comes down to his ultimate demise at the end with Megatron. But much respect to the character. Love the character, love the toy. This is a great redo with the toy figure itself from APC/Gear Factory. And that's all I have to say as far as the nitpicks go. And my thoughts on him, very, very solid. Happily to recommend this figure if you are into the Transformers Prime or if you just like a really cool Dreadwing. So, with that said, I am going to bring a couple figures just for the obligatory comparisons here. First off, I'm going to bring something that's still in its box. One of my absolute favorite designs of all time for a figure is this Megatron Transformers Prime Megatron, where he goes into this kind of funky design here. I think it is probably the coolest design that the designers have come up with, and this one happens to be the shark version, the Sharkticon Megatron version. Very, 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 very cool. There he is on the back. I don't know how many of you guys have seen this one or not, but I absolutely love this one. So that is one, and maybe at some point I will unbox him and do a little fun review with that. So let's scale him with the legend himself, OP, and he is towering above Dreadwing here. So definitely way out of scale there. Let's bring in a Voyager class figure. One of my favorites. You guys know that have been watching the channel. Voyager class Nemesis. That is somewhat of a better scale, but still a little bit off. Okay, what about YOLO Park? AMK Pro. I think that is a much better scale with the AMK Pro. I think that's a much better scale. AMK Pro. Optimus Prime / Orion Pax. That works out much better. I like that scale. That's fun. And just for fun, we're going to bring out New Age Jazz. I love this little guy. And you can see he is pretty tiny in comparison, but it's fun. I love it. Okay, so one more thing that we did not do is just take his height measurement here. Let's go ahead and do that for fun. Okay, so from feet to the head, he's about 7.5 inches or about 19 centimeters tall. Shoulder to shoulder, he's about 4 inches wide internally, and then externally, he's about, say, 7.5 inches or 18 centimeters in width from the widest points. With that said, do I recommend this figure? Again, I do very much recommend this figure. He is a blast to play with. I've been messing with him a lot, and I adore this figure. I wasn't sure about it, and I know APC has done some pretty cool stuff in the past, and they've definitely improved. Was there more opportunity to improve? Absolutely. So they're not getting off the hook completely. There is definitely room for improvement, and we talked about it. It's mainly coming from, you know, these sides right here, the big gaps. And maybe this is getting a bit looser as time goes on. That's something we can fix with little floor polish or whatnot. But honestly, that's it. That's it on the hip skirts we talked about. But other than that, really good job. I got a good copy. I am very thankful for. That's what I have to say. Let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I know some people are very passionate about Transformers Prime like myself, and if you are, please let me know, because this guy is wild fun. And once again, as always, I am Deemer. Stay young, stay fun, everyone. Until the next one, peace out.